Hamilton Tiger Cats linebacker Wynton McManis joins us. Does that sound normal now?
Sounds normal now. I've heard it enough.
You make the move down the QEW, changing from the Toronto Argonauts to the Ticats. And Michael Pinball Clemens actually told us that you had a sit-down in-person meeting with him. Was Mike Miller there?
Yeah.
Mike Miller and some of the other staff on the team as part of your decision to leave. Why did you want to do that?
Just wanting to put everything out there and wanting to put everything on the table and keep it honest and, kind of have some power back into the players. I think a lot of players don't understand, how much power that we do have in this league. And, just wanting us to be able to have an honest conversation and tell them where my head is at and what I'm thinking about. And I feel like that meeting went well. We both came out with a different level of respect for each other.
The way that Pinball Clemens talked about it and what you had relayed to them is you felt like you might need to leave to sort of re-energize yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm chasing this thing called greatness. I feel like it's hard to know what greatness looks like until I guess somebody else has told you, what it is or that you're there. And for myself, man, I feel like that I want to be able to bring something to every team that I'm a part of, and I want to be able to expand, and I like putting myself in uncomfortable positions. And I felt like just at this point in my career, I had to get uncomfortable for some time. And, Hamilton was a great place and a great team. They had a lot to build off of, and, I think Hamilton is a very attractive place to play for any player. And, with this time that I am in my career, it just ended up being perfect.
Could you ever have imagined when you were with the Argos that you would go to the other side of that heated rivalry?
No, not at that time, man. I am wherever my feet are in that moment, or whatever team I'm on, I'm there. So I never, thought I would be on another team. I never thought I would see myself somewhere else. But the same how I feel about Hamilton right now. I'm all in, man. I love the black and gold, and the fans have welcomed me with open arms. Even though I was on the other side, and I'm just happy to be here.
It's early on in your Ticats time, let's call it, but how impactful do you think it could be, and what type of status do you think your team would get if you break that long-running Grey Cup drought? It's been since 1999.
I think the fans, man, would be so happy. There's nothing more that I would want to do for them, but I don't think there's anything that I could do for them on the field, that would make them prouder than to win a Grey Cup. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many passes I intercept, how many sacks, how many regular season wins we could have. I think they all won a Grey Cup, and I think they all deserve a Grey Cup. And, I just want to be able to do that for them.
You live in the GTHA area, let's say. We won't pinpoint it, but it's actually closer for you from your home to go to Hamilton. Did that pull you there because it was closer and perhaps not dealing with the traffic in Toronto?
No, that just happened to be a added bonus. I don't think, proximity or where I lived or anything had anything to go into my decision of wanting to leave or where I left to. I just think it was time, and, all great things have to come to an end sometime, so nothing is forever.
Was it real that you considered other teams outside the QEW rivalry?
Yeah.
Who else was in the mix?
I was talking to a lot of teams, honestly, and Ottawa was actually one of the ones that I talked to. I had talked to Sask, I had talked to Calgary. I talked to quite a few teams. I even talked to Montreal a little bit, but not as much as I would say the other ones. But I just felt like the best fit for me and the best team fit was Hamilton. And, the kind of player I am and the fire that I bring and, how I like to talk stuff and be that, I feel like those fans are right there with me and feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it was the best, like a match made in heaven almost.
How much of a possibility was it that you might have gone to Saskatchewan? For the reasons you mentioned, the fan base there is very passionate. You have a close relationship with Corey Mason, others on that staff.
Yeah, that was like I said. Sask is an attractive place too, for players, as well. Story to pass and things like that. And my relationship with Coach Mace has always been strong and always been good. He's a great coach, but I don't think just at this time I was what they needed, and I don't think at this time they were what I needed.
How did you go through your rankings and the decision making process, which ultimately led you to Hamilton, but at the time to sort through that many teams?
Um, I would say team wise, what kind of some of the skills of the team and what some teams needed, and coaching staff, play style. Like some teams I don't really have much of a connection to the coaching staff or know much about the coaching staff, I would say. And me and Coach Monson go way back to our Calgary days. So I think that was kind of something that uh, was kind of easy decision. It would be an easy merge to kind of rekindle that.
I feel like with offensive guys, we'll talk a lot about getting used to the playbook. Defensively, is there going to be a big change for you, or do you know a lot of what Monson's done already from your time with him in Calgary?
Yeah, it's gonna be some change because not everything's the same, and even the things that I think are the same have changed over the years, and you got different names for different things. So I think that'll just be the biggest thing, just come remembering the names, and I'm always open to learning, man. So I'm trying to not forget everything that I've learned, but just make sure I have enough room to add on to it.
What does a defensive play call sound like? Is it as long as some of these offensive play calls?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it is. A lot of times you can just give hand signals, so it'll be something for the front, uh, the coverage, and well, the front say it's a blitz attached to it, and then coverage. So it won't be as long as an offensive play because they're literally telling each receiver what to do and where to line up. We're maybe saying, um, heads front, um, you know, black. It can be as simple as that almost. Heads gray or stack gray. Something simple as that to where that's your front, that's your coverage. So everybody kind of knows where they're lined up and what we're doing.
So you guys can get ready fast.
Yeah, yeah, you can get ready really fast.
So what will that transition be like for you to get used to that verbiage in Hamilton?
Just take a lot of messing up, man, and but a lot of trying. I think you got to make mistakes, and I'm all for it at this point in my career, man. So I can be loud and wrong at the same time, but I feel like, man, if we're all wrong, we're all right. If you get what I'm saying. So as long as we're all on the same page, I kind of feel like we can make it work.
It seems like there's a pretty good core of guys within the GTHA that have been in the facility regularly this offseason. Have you been training and working out there at the stadium?
Yeah, yeah, I've been up there a few times, and Marcellus boom has a good program going on, and you see the guys working. A lot of guys are in shape. I went up there and ran conditioning with them the other day, and that felt good. And just excited, man. The facilities and things are really nice in Hamilton, and you kind of get this sense, and it makes you want to work. It makes you want to be better when you walk into that facility. So.
The CFLPA report card, I believe the first 2 years had Hamilton ranked at the top, if not right there with some other teams. Was that a draw to use the facilities and then also the report on the cards?
Yeah. I didn't pay a lot of attention to the report card. I did notice that they were up high, but for me, it kind of just made sense, from what you see and them always being one of the top teams in the league. Is they got to be doing something right every year. So it just made sense.
What's it going to be like to be on the other side of the rivalry and potentially hit a guy like Chad Kelly in a game for the first time?
It's gonna be exciting. I hadn't got a chance to play against Chad since college. He was at Ole Miss and I was at Memphis. So, it's going to be exciting. At practice, we used to, do a lot of chirping and talking back and forth, and, it will be fun. So, I don't think the game to be any less exciting, man, if not more. There's more fire, more talking stuff, more talking trash. Yeah,
If you get a chance to line them up and you get a good
I'm
shot on
lining
them,
them
you'd be
up.
talking trash
I'm
after.
lining them up.
Tamonte Coxie also spoke about how close your relationship is. He seems to have a lot of adoration for you as a professional. It sounds like you've really helped him out, maturing, growing in his career. What's that going to be like to go against a guy like that you're so close with?
um, that's gonna be exciting and not at the same time because I've always been such a big fan of his. I think he's one of the, if not the best player in the league. So, it's going to be hard to see him on the opposite side of the ball, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. He knows I'm coming at him, trying to get him and trying to knock his head off. So, hopefully he's been working out and training this offseason, which
That's
I
a
know he has.
that's a big compliment to give out, though. You believe that he could be the best player in the Canadian Football League. Why?
Man, for one, you can't tell me a time you've seen him had a bad game. That's one thing. But just I've seen him day in and day out, man, and the energy that he brings and the work that he has and the effect that he has on the people around him make him a great player. Like he's not one of those guys where like he's strictly like a good player by himself. No, he's a great player, and if anybody's close to him, you're gonna be better because you're close to Demonte Coast.
You could tell by his energy. He was talking to me about trying to bring out Makai Polk and who he really was and make him feel comfortable and put his arm around him. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. He can make a brick wall talk back to you. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those guys though that has that energy, and is very welcoming and he's such a good person that you want to do better because he wants you to do better. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that believes in you, so you believe in you. And I think Makai is a great player as well, man. And like I said, him being with Coach is just gonna only be better for him.
Can you personally be better going against Scott Milanovic and Bo Levi Mitchell led offense day in and day out in practice?
Yes, yes. They do so many things well. With Coach Scott, just scheme wise and stuff, and Bo is such a seasoned vet. There's not much he hasn't seen, and there's not much that he can't do. So every day I just come to bring some energy, man, bring some excitement, talk a little stuff to them, and see if I can make them better and see if they make me better.
Are you fully healthy when after last
I'm ready to
season at the
go.
end of it?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All good?
I'm ready to roll.
All gas, no brakes, as they say?
Gas, no brakes.
He's
Great
ready, Ticats
business.
fans.
Great business, Tycat.
Thanks for the time, Witten.
Thank you, Dustin.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.